So here's the problem that you're not understanding. You're trying to give a bag that you think is loving and kind. But that bag that you're trying to give, you didn't ask permission if whether or not that person wanted those things or needed those things for their life. Most homeless people do have a way to get food. There's a dollar store, there's a ruler store, there's an Aldi store, there's a Walmart. Most of those organizations offer food that can be inexpensive. So when people get played with a little bit of petty cash, they usually can buy their own food. The challenges that most homeless people have are different things. And different things would be really warm socks that cost $12 a pop. So basically that $12 worth of property you put in that bag isn't anything that homeless person needs. And if he accepts it, he's probably going to receive it and then throw it out. We see that every day in the streets. It might have some food in it, but why should he trust you with his food? You see, you're asking for a lot. You're trying to empower yourself over someone's life. And the best way to help someone, I've explained this 100 times, is drive up if you really are moved by the Lord and say, how can I help you today to get your goals on their way? You see, that's what gets people out of the streets. And the person might say, well, I haven't eaten. So in that regard, you take out $5 to $10, you give it to them, and you drive away. End of story, you're done. But if the person says, well, I need a pair of shoes, then you're going to have to think about how much do shoes cost. And shoes cost anywhere from $50 to $100 for a decent pair of shoes. Yes, it is possible that you can buy $20 shoes at Walmart, but those aren't necessarily going to withstand the cold and the freezing temperatures of the winter. At the same time, they may not be as comfortable for a person's feet, and let's face it, if the person's walking everywhere, they need comfort shoes. So then you're looking at, do I have the ability within the money that I make from God's house, how God has gifted me in my job and in my living, to afford a donation to someone of $50 to $100? And if you don't feel you do, maybe there's a group of people that you know, like your prayer group, or your small group, or your golfing team, or your softball team, or your volleyball team that would each donate $10. And then you walk up to that person with that envelope of $10 each from your friends, and on the envelope you write at least the first names of your friends who made those donations, so that person can thank them in their heart and their mind and their soul, or their full name. That's up to you. But that way that person can take that money and go apply it to what they need to. Now if they're stupid, they'll apply it to drugs and alcohol and other vices. But someone who's trying to get out of homelessness doesn't do that. They apply it to bills. They apply it to this clothing or the things they need. They figure out how to amortize it so they can cover a little bit of everything. But if you're trying to help someone, you don't piss all over them. And when someone says to a Salvation Army who has all kinds of donations, this is the type of pants I need, this is the color I need, then you should be reaching out to your constituency on behalf of that non-for-profit organization and say, we have a request from someone who's homeless for this thing. And then you provide them a gift card. The problem is that the gift card has to be usable in a specific place. So the question is whether or not that place has those things. Or you get online and you order the thing specifically if it's not locally available. And I can tell you, for certain people and their jobs and their work and the things they like, some things are not available locally because they're not a part of the current fashion. Nobody gives a shit whether someone's in fashion. What matters is what looks good on that person and how they feel good about themselves. But really good socks come from an outdoor sporting section of a Walmart or a Meijer or something like that. They have to be a wool-cotton blend because cotton alone freezes the hands and the feet. If you didn't know that, it's because you've never lived in homelessness.